right there.
Fire on both sides of this highway this morning. The race to save people and animals. The new scenes of destruction.
We are seeing an entire apartment complex engulfed in flames.
Why the worst may be yet to come. And the iconic cross still standing.
Also breaking overnight, attack plot foiled. Suspects are heading to court this morning after reported assassination plan targeting the British Prime Minister, bringing terrorism to her front door in London.
Steve Bannon lashing out. The president's former strategist campaigning for Roy Moore going on the attack.
Judge Roy Moore has more honor and integrity in that pinky finger than your entire family.
How Bannon invoked Vietnam to take aim at Mitt Romney.
Cheese for your health? The new research on the benefits of eating cheese every day.
And standing tall at a special award ceremony honoring the nation's top athletes.
From ABC News in New York, this is America This Morning.
Good morning. We begin with the fire disaster unfolding in Southern California right now, where thousands of homes are in danger.
States of emergency have been declared in 2 counties right now as the worst Santa Ana winds in a decade whip up the flames across highways and into neighborhoods, reducing homes to ashes in just a matter of minutes. And the worst may be yet to come. ABC's Kenneth Moten reports.
Overnight, California wildfires exploded in size, raging out of control.
We just packed up and everybody's gone, and I'm just kind of sticking around and making sure that everything's okay. It's really dangerous.
The Thomas Fire in Ventura County jumped major highways, took over hillsides, and lit up the night sky. More than 55,000 acres, 70 square miles in Ventura, north of Los Angeles, are burning. 150 structures damaged or destroyed, 12,000 threatened.
It's just devastating. This was going to be my die-in house. The only thing is the house died before I did.
The Creek Fire in LA County has ripped through 11,000 acres, dozens of homes gone. Ferocious Santa Ana winds and dry conditions fueling 4 wildfires in Southern California, sparking a state of emergency. KABC reporter Jade Hernandez along the 101 where the flames are burning on both sides of the highway.
You can see behind me, this is where the flames jumped the freeway.
150,000 people told to leave their homes and evacuate.
We have not lost lives. Do not wait. Leave your homes.
People rush to save their property and their animals.
It's craziness. I just don't know where to go. I don't know where to take them.
But this horse forced to fend for itself. Thousands of firefighters working to get the upper hand. Tough conditions expected through the end of the week. Kenneth Moten, ABC News.
To make things worse, California hasn't seen Santa Ana winds lasting this long since 2007, when fires destroyed thousands of homes. Those winds continue today with gusts topping 20 miles per hour. They'll get even stronger tomorrow, reaching 40 miles per hour in San Diego and Los Angeles.
Well, now to the other big story that we're following this morning. President Trump getting ready to break with the rest of the world today and recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The decision to move the U.S. embassy there and break with decades of U.S. policy could jeopardize, we're told, peace efforts. Demonstrations are planned as the region braces for a new wave of violence, and the U.S. military places troops on alert. ABC's Molly Hunter joins us now from Jerusalem with the very latest this morning from her post. Good morning, Molly.
Good morning, guys. That's right. It's a seismic shift in U.S. foreign policy. The U.S. is actually calling this a recognition of reality, but reaction among Palestinians and across the Arab world could be violent.
President Trump's late-night calls to Arab leaders, one after the other, prompting new alarm, and the region is bracing for trouble. Recognizing Jerusalem as the capital and moving the embassy could begin a new cycle of violence. Egypt's president saying a move could undermine peace opportunities. Jordan's King Abdullah saying it will provoke Muslims and Christians alike. And Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas calling it unacceptable. Various Palestinian factions have now called for 3 days of rage.
Is it safe to say, other than Israel, which thinks that this move is 22 years overdue, that all of the feedback that he's been getting from world leaders is overwhelmingly negative about this idea?
No, again, he spoke with 5 leaders. That's hardly indicative of everybody across the globe.
But there's no other country in the world that has its embassy in Jerusalem. And Palestinians view East Jerusalem, where there's an Arab majority, as the capital of any future Palestinian state. President Trump is apparently trying to keep it vague, officials saying he doesn't want to prejudice the outcome of peace negotiations, but Palestinians don't see it that way.
Now, it's not clear why President Trump is doing this right now. Former negotiators and former diplomats I spoke with said there's a reason that no U.S. administration has done this before. Now, he is, of course, playing to his base, fulfilling that campaign promise. But again, former negotiators and former diplomats that I spoke with said there's really not a good reason that it serves U.S. interests right now. Diane, Candace.
Yeah, Molly, and ABC News will have live coverage of the president's speech at 1 o'clock today. Molly, thanks.
And intelligence officials have reportedly foiled a plot to assassinate British Prime Minister Theresa May. Sources say the plan was to detonate a bomb at the Prime Minister's official residence, 10 Downing Street, then attack her with knives. Two men believed to be linked to the plot are due to appear in a London courtroom today.
Former White House strategist Steve Bannon has unleashed a scathing attack on the Republican establishment as he campaigns for Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. At a rally overnight, Bannon called Republican leaders in Congress cowards who want to destroy Roy Moore. And he attacked former presidential nominee Mitt Romney, who has criticized Moore on Twitter. Bannon accused Romney of being a draft dodger.
Judge Moore served his country in one of the toughest wars we've ever had, Vietnam. And he went over there for his country, his state, and his family. Mitt, that's honor and integrity. And by the way, Mitt, while we're on the subject of Vietnam and honor and integrity, you avoided service, brother.
Well, Bannon also slammed Republican Senator Jeff Flake, who posted a picture of a $100 check that he sent to Moore's opponent, Doug Jones, the Democrat in this race. Flake wrote "country over party" on the check. Alabama voters head to the polls next Tuesday.
And we turn now to the Russia investigation. Sources say special counsel Robert Mueller has subpoenaed Deutsche Bank. The bank previously loaned the Trump organization more than $300 million for real estate transactions. But a lawyer for the president is insisting that any reports tying subpoenas to the president's financial records are false.
Time now for a look at your weather this Wednesday morning. It's a rainy start along most of the East Coast this morning. The rain will taper off, but then the winds will pick up and then temperatures will drop sharply during the day. The daytime high temperatures in Boston and Washington will be 50 degrees, but Chicago and Detroit won't make it out of the 30s. The high in Minneapolis, if you could call it a high, just 23. Phoenix hitting 75 today. Highs in the Pacific Northwest will only reach the low 50s. The hot spot today, and where we should all be heading, Miami.
Miami, everybody.
83.
Coming up, Russia's reaction after being banned from the Olympics.
Also ahead, why it's taking longer than expected to deliver your holiday packages.
And the perfect pairing with your pie. The new deliveries coming from Pizza Hut. No Russian team, no Russian flag, and no Russian anthem. Only individual Russian athletes who prove they are not doping will be allowed to compete in the upcoming games under a neutral flag. And to do that, they'll have to find a sponsor. A Russian trainer who works with figure skaters said the ban amounts to the, quote, murder of our national sport. The whistleblower who exposed the doping scheme says he fears President Putin may retaliate against his family still in Russia.
Well, back in this country, actor Denny Masterson is calling sexual assault allegations against him outrageous. Masterson has been fired from his role on the Netflix series The Ranch after claims from at least 3 women. Masterson is perhaps best known, though, for his role on That 70s Show. The Huffington Post reports a Netflix executive just last Sunday told one of the accusers that company executives did not find the allegations credible.
Well, if you're waiting for a package from UPS, you may have to wait a little longer. The company is warning of delivery delays because of a bigger than expected flood of orders after Cyber Monday. A delay of 1 or 2 days is possible until things get back on track this week. This comes a day after some UPS workers protested their 70-hour work week. And the feud between Google and Amazon is escalating this morning, with Google pulling YouTube from Amazon streaming devices and Amazon no longer selling Google Nest devices. The tech giants have been battling each other as Google moves further into e-commerce and Amazon expands into online advertising.
Well, China is known for its tea, but today the world's largest Starbucks has opened in Shanghai. It's 30,000 square feet and has more than 400 employees. Starbucks views China as a key growth market. The company says on average it's opening a store in that country every 15 minutes. And a big change at Pizza Hut. We might like it. Some customers will soon be able to get beer and wine delivered with their pizza. Company is testing the option in certain cities, starting in Phoenix, with 6 packs of beer costing $10.99. Not bad at all.
All right, when we come back, the Supreme Court takes up the case of a baker, a wedding cake, and a same-sex couple.
Also ahead, a shocking case of road rage. We'll hear from the mother who was riding with her child when this took place.
And the controversial athlete who got a big surprise from Beyonce.
We're back now with a scare for Santa Claus. Skydiving onto a beach in Tampa, losing control of his parachute, and then hitting a tree during a charity event. Suffered a leg injury, but is in good spirits, in the holiday spirit still. Might want to stick to the sleigh next.
Yeah, you needed Rudolph there.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, the Supreme Court appears divided after hearing arguments Tuesday in a battle between gay rights and religious freedom. The case involves a Colorado baker who refused to make a wedding cake for a same-sex couple. The couple calls that discrimination, but the baker says he should not be forced to do something that violates his religious beliefs. Protesters on both sides weighed in outside court.
Anyone who believes in religious liberty does not want Jack Phillips to go out of business.
If they're allowed to discriminate, it's another case where the court has decided that somebody else can make a decision for me.
Well, the court will make its decision in June. Justice Anthony Kennedy appeared torn on the issue and is expected to hold the deciding vote.
Police in Houston are searching for the man behind an apparent case of extreme road rage targeting a young mother. Krista Richard was driving down Houston's East Freeway with her 3-year-old daughter when she says the driver of that pickup truck, that blue one right there, started hitting the brakes and throwing rocks at her vehicle. Richard says that she called 911 and started recording on her cell phone the man pulling out a gun, pointing it at her.
You have to be careful. You do. Because you never know who that next person is beside you, what's going on in their mind, if they're going to try to hurt you. If it was just me, it would have been fine. But my daughter was in the back seat.
She's clearly still emotional there. Now, Richards insists she was not following the truck too closely, but police are investigating. No one was injured.
A new study finds a major risk associated with spanking children. Researchers at the University of Texas followed hundreds of young adults from childhood. They found those who were spanked as kids were more likely to be violent in future relationships. 19% admitted being violent with their partners. Experts say using timeouts and rewarding positive behavior are more effective than spanking.
Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick has been honored with Sports Illustrated's Muhammad Ali Legacy Award. Beyonce presented it to him at the magazine's annual gala. Kaepernick hasn't played in the NFL this season after he launched his campaign to kneel during the national anthem to protest racial injustice. Now he's promising to continue to speak out even if he never plays again.
With or without the NFL's platform, I will continue to work for the people because my platform is the people.
Well, Kaepernick there saying Muhammad Ali's legacy made him a mentor, even though he never met the boxing great. And take a look at this photo that was taken on the red carpet before the event. That's 7-foot-tall Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers and American League MVP Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros. Altuve, 5'6".
It's kind of like when I stand next to Robin Roberts or Michael Strahan.
It's like towering giants.
Well, hello, good morning. And the NFL is handing out suspensions after Monday night's Steelers-Bengals game. Pittsburgh's Juju Smith-Schuster will sit out one game for his violent hit in the fourth quarter. And Cincinnati's George Iloka was also suspended for one game for this helmet-to-helmet hit. Still hard to watch.
Yeah, we do get some basketball action right now from ESPN.
Good morning, morning people. This is Sports Center from Los Angeles. I'm doing this by myself because I've been bad. The Wizards were awful. They weren't just bad, they were awful on Monday. Lost to the Jazz by 47. Then they go to Portland, and apparently nobody D'd up on Bradley Beal because Bradley Beal just went off. Most points anybody's ever scored on the Blazers. He had 19 in the first half. He gets 51 as the Wizards plaster Portland. Devin Booker and the Suns taking on Toronto over the border. Bartender, give me a Canadian club. Serge Ibaka. Kemba Mutombo's there. He loves it. Ibaka had 3 blocks. There's Mutombo right there smiling. Booker, a strained left adductor, which I didn't even know anyone had. He had to be carried off the court. He had 19 points. He's the NBA's 10th leading scorer at about 25. So we'll keep an eye on that. The Raptors win. That's it. That's all. You can keep counting. We're done.
Come on, we want more. Well, up next in the Pulse, a massive avocado that could set a world record.
Also ahead, forget an apple a day. My favorite story of the day, how eating cheese on a daily basis could be good for you.
And plus, an update on the homeless man who received nearly $400,000 in donations over Thanksgiving. What he's doing with the money. With the formerly homeless man who did a good deed, you remember, for that young woman outside Philadelphia. Johnny Bobbitt used his last $20 to buy gas for Kate McClure after she was stranded on a highway there.
McClure returned the favor by setting up a GoFundMe page for Johnny, which raised nearly $400,000. Johnny is now using the money to buy a home and his dream truck, a 1999 Ford Ranger.
Hey, there are two financial funds that are being set up, and Johnny will be making donations to them to help other people in need.
We also have some proof this morning that every vote counts. Just ask the unlikely winner of a local election in Philadelphia.
Okay, so this was interesting. Philip Garcia decided to write in his own name when he saw the position for Judge of Elections and that it was blank. And he was shocked to find out that he actually won a 4-year term. He only has to work on election day, and the pay is $100.
Not just small races either where every vote counts. We learned overnight the election for mayor of Atlanta is too close to call. Only 759 votes separate those candidates.
Yeah, but Bottoms-Air has claimed victory. A new study suggests eating cheese every day could be good for you.
All right, now we're getting down to the important stuff. Researchers analyzing data have found that people who ate cheese daily have a 14% lower risk of developing heart disease, and we're 10% less likely to have a stroke thanks to the good stuff in cheese, like calcium, protein, and probiotics.
But here's a catch. You have to limit the amount of cheese to 40 grams a day, which is about the size of a matchbook. But there are some big matchbooks. Finally, an ample avocado you have to see.
Ooh, I love avocados.
Got your attention, didn't I? A Hawaii woman found an avocado that weighs 5 pounds. She's waiting to hear back if it's a world record.
As he prepares to announce plans to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and move the U.S. embassy there from Tel Aviv. The region is bracing for protests and violence, with some group calling for days of rage.
Intelligence officials have reportedly broken up a plot to assassinate British Prime Minister Theresa May. Now, sources say the bomb attack was supposed to take place at 10 Downing Street. 2 suspects are due in court today.
Donald Trump Jr. is set to face the House Intelligence Committee today behind closed doors. Lawmakers are expected to question him about his meeting in 2016 with a Russian lawyer and other campaign officials.
And taking a look at today's weather, temperatures will drop in the east while the winds pick up around the Great Lakes and in the western mountains as well.
The raging wildfires in Southern California have destroyed dozens of homes. Many residents escaped with nothing more than the clothing on their back.
Well, now they've learned what they managed to grab is all they have left. KABC's Chelsea Edwards with their story.
As the smoke finally started to settle, the wreckage became more clear.
It's totally burned out.
Guy Crawford just saw the aftermath of a raging fire that tore through the Sunland neighborhood. This house in the 10,000 block of Wheatland Avenue belongs to his girlfriend's mother.
When you first walk up, it sort of looks okay-ish because the main frame and everything was there, but then you get a little closer and that's all that's there.
This is one of at least 4 homes on the street destroyed when embers from the creek fire sparked raging infernos. Some of the blazes too powerful to put out by the time firefighters arrived.
I spent my life there.
Denise Maybe's daughter was born in this house. She's lived here since 1989, but recently started renting it out to neighbor Jason Van Beek.
Oh, you finally made it. This is my tenant.
Eyewitness News was there as Van Beek saw the rubble for the first time after narrowly escaping the flames earlier today.
I jumped the wash and then I saw it come up the hill and I barely had time to get the dogs out. And I didn't even get my things out.
Firefighters worked tirelessly throughout the day to protect other homes.
Structurally, it's fine, and I don't know why, but I'm thankful. It's crazy.
At the edge of a row of gutted houses stands Craig Roberts. He says he can't believe the extent of the destruction on his block and is forever grateful for the firefighters. Chelsea Edwards, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Looking at those images, it's easy to understand why tens of thousands have now evacuated. Overnight, the fire even jumped the 101 freeway.
Yeah, and you have a virtual army that's right there fighting these flames. 11,000 plus firefighters who are there on the front lines. They're hoping to make a difference, but with the weather conditions expected to be worse today, it might be a futile effort in many places.
That's right. Those Santa Ana winds are expected to kick up even higher today. Those firefighters already had their work cut out for them. They will have another challenge ahead today.
All right, we're going to stay on top of it. That's what's making news in America this morning.
Have a great day.